What's up, fellas? We got an NU game here, and I'm delving further and further down into the lower depths and rungs of the lower tiers. We've got CasedVictory of the Sharks against Roses, formerly known as Metaphysical, of the Bigs. So, here we go. Jinx against Scyther. Scyther's faster, and runs a Scarf set pretty nicely, so I don't think Jinx wants to stay in here. Unless it's Sash or something. And Roses' ice resists are Pyroar and Lantern. So neither of those guys want to take a Lovely Kiss. Skuntank checks Jinx kind of nicely because it has OK Spliff, lots of HP, and likes to run Lum. But if it gets Lovely Kissed on the switch, then Sucker Punch won't do anything, and, you know, unless it's... Well, if it's Scarfed and it switches into Lovely Kiss, then, you know. So, faster Lum Poke could definitely mean this Jinx ends up doing nothing. But Pyroar is pretty fast. It is 106. Oh, wow! Well, that... God damn, that fucking died. So, here we see 5-5. Unless the Case just switches into Rhydon, and I do call him Case instead of Cased, because, I mean, I've hung out with him like a million times, you know? It just feels weird putting the D at the end. There are a lot of easy jokes. Anyway, so Lantern going down is pretty nice for, well, in case Jinx comes in later and wants to fire off Ice Stab, since Pyroar does not have great bulk. And it's also nice for Piloswine, which wants to use Icicle Crash, and it removes a Check 2 Xatu. Plus, it means Scyther can use its Flying Stab more freely, Aerial Ace or Wing Attack, since that was Roses' Flying Resist, although Lantern isn't really a Scyther switching because, you know, U-turns, the Bug Stabs kind of hurt. So, Case deciding if he wants to possibly switch Rhydon into a knockoff, which would get its Violite removed. Although, seeing Roses' pokes, I don't think a Violite is going to make a huge difference. Perhaps he just wants to take the 5-5, since his team is built with countering some shit in mind, I would assume. Yep, he's going to take the 5-5 and get the switch advantage and ride that momentum further. So, that's cool. That's very good. He doesn't know anything about the Scyther, other than... because U-turn would bring it down to the Sash and, you know, OHKO it, even without a band. Because, you know, Jinx has like 2 defense and Scyther's fucking strong, stab super effective, all that good stuff. So, we don't know if it's banned or Scarfed. Scarf Pyroar, I think, is a thing, just barely. So Sceptile comes in, and Sceptile is dangerous to things. But Scyther at full health, back gets a free U-turn. And Roses' bug resists are his Pyroar and his own Scyther. And Scyther is a Rhydon switch, and Rhydon gets rocks. Roses does have Skuntank for Defog, unless this Piloswine is the one with rocks. A Violite means that... I mean, Piloswine is bulky, but Specs Leaf Storm, ooh! It just barely survives. Is that the guy with rocks? It is. So that must be just... EV just for Specs Leaf Storm, because wow, I mean, Piloswine's bulky, and a Violite on top of that makes it even bulkier. But whew, Specs Tile Leaf Storm is fucking strong. So now he has rocks to harass the Scyther. So I guess we can assume that Rhydon is a double dancer set. So he really wants all the bulk he can get when taking hits. For getting both boosts, like Mesprit Ice Beam, for example, or even just like a Pyroar Fire Blast or Hyper Voice. So he can Ice Shard Sceptile, but I don't think he really needs to do that. He can save his Ice Shard for something later, or just, you know, save Piloswine for a sack. There's always, you know, if you can keep something healthy for a sack, then it's recommended you do it. And he gets Scyther in there, named, oh, he took nothing from the crit, so that makes me think it's not banned, it's a Violite. Because, wow, that did nothing. So, it's named after Finch's proclamation that the Bigs are not an O2 team after he beat Marth earlier this week. The Sharks lead the Bigs 6-4 at the moment. So, they're guaranteed a tie at the worst, and, you know, if Case wins here, then that's the week. So, Case entertaining the fans, but I'm not very good with that. So, wow, that did fucking nothing. As Case says, this is Gotham's A Reckoning, and I don't really know much about Batman, so I can't really comment on that. But why did that do so little? I mean, I know a Violet Scyther invests in bulk, but there has to be something wrong there. I mean, Mesprit is bulky, but it's not that bulky. So, I mean, wow, Specs, Leaf Storm, and there's a kill. So, Case is dominating right now. Since nothing switched in safely, and he's got, you know, Rhydon to handle the Scyther. It could be bulky SD Scyther. Bulky SD does use U-turn for the same reasons that a bulky SD Scizor might use U-turn. You know, scouting, all that stuff. So that's not necessarily... Oh, it's not Specs, it was Life Orb. So Rock Slide would take Scyther out. And Sceptile doesn't have massive attack, but... And Scyther is pretty bulky with a Violite, but with, you know, the HP... Oh, I guess, he was fearing Scarf. So with us, its HP stripped off from Rock's, you know, taking less than 51 from Sceptile Rock Slide would just be nutty. Anyway, so he fears the thing, the Scarf U-turn, and he switches out and has the Piloswine to sack. And that does not give... whereas if he had just let Piloswine die, rather than, you know, getting momentum with Scyther for free, pretty much, I find that, you know, when you keep things alive to sack, it tends to be really useful down the stretch. So, if he had just let Piloswine die, and Rhydon had been U-turned on there, or his own Scyther, Scyther brings in Pyroar, and I'm not sure how well Pyroar does against Rhydon. I know Rhydon's bulky, but Pyroar has a lot of special attack, and I would assume that Rhydon's a popular enough Pokemon for it to do something against it, like Will-O-Wisp. So he would have gotten some momentum there. Rather now, he sacks something comes in, takes rocks, and gets chased out again. So unless this is HP Grass Skuntank, then Rhydon's going to scare the shit out of it. So, and he could even theoretically go to Rhydon and then go to Scyther. Since, well, nothing resists rock, so he could possibly try to catch a Sceptile that would switch it on EQ, even though it wouldn't switch it on it very well. And he could also check for HP Grass. So, if that's concerned, I mean, HP Grass wouldn't kill, but I would assume he wants it healthy for the threat of Pyroar. So, but yeah, Case has all the symptoms of dominating and ending a game early here. He's got the rocks up, he's got a lot of momentum, a lot of threatening things. The score is 4-4, but it's looking scary. He's taking his time, though. So, I mean, I don't see another play, really. Sceptile won't kill and, you know, gets fucked with in return. Scyther, not really feeling that. Yeah, there's Rhydon. Shiny, too. Decent choice. I always try to get shinies, if I can, because as a kid I loved shiny Pokemon, so now that I can have them whenever I want, then, Anyway, so we are assuming this is a double dance or something, so setting up... I mean, Sceptile is frail, but, you know, unboosted Stone and just killing it. I mean, Rocks Up, maybe. I assume it's somewhat of a roll. Anyway. There is HP Grass! God, I'm fucking smart. God damn. So, he does go for Rock Polish, and that is a jacked up Skuntank. And I mean, Rhydon has shitty special attack, but I don't think that it's in Sucker Punch range, though, because, I mean, it's off Skuntank's higher attack stat, and, oh my god, it's Shuka Bear! He doesn't even have to Sucker Punch! Lord! Goodness gracious! Well, now it's getting interesting, since Roses takes the lead. Of course, Case is about to make it go back to 3-3, and he does that, so it doesn't, oh, even Aftermaths him. If he suckered there, maybe he was afraid of... If he gets Quick Attack, he dies anyway, so he must not have Sucker or something. So, it's 3-3, and Sceptile's in. Now, Scyther gets one more switch in. It's going to hurt really bad, but it can't kill Xatu, or, you know, it's probably going to just use a Flying Stab since Case has no resists, and Scyther eats up the bug moves. So, I would assume that Xatu can take 2 from a Scarf one, and if it's not Scarf, then Sceptile outruns it. So Sceptile Wars, bulky SD Scyther definitely helps. The bulky part helps against Rose's Sceptile, unless that has Rock Slide. So there is Scyther, and here comes Xatu. I mean, unless he just lets the Sceptile die, I would assume he would want the Pokemon faster than Pyroar. If they run like Focus Blast or something, or EQ, both are super effective. Rock Slide too, although we don't know if he has Rock Slide yet because he feared the Scyther was Scarf. So, here comes Xatu. I don't see another option. His Scyther may be bulky, but 50%. Even before Aftermath, I wouldn't have put my money on it living 2 of those Aerial Aces. Or Wing Attacks, same thing. There's... Oh, he's sacking the thing. There's, people use Wing Attack in lower tiers. It's so cool. I think I saw... No, I thought I saw it in RU, but I don't think I did. Anyway, there's Xatu. I guess he did not... He was not confident. That could have taken 2. Oh, he's using it to set up. Oh boy. So, unless Rose's Rock Slide Sceptile is Rock Slide in the first place, then that could be tricky. Now, people like to say that people risk crits all the time, and that bugs the hell out of me. But he's got to be careful. Oh my. Uh-oh. It's not Scarf. Goodness gracious. Oh, he got us. He got us all. Whew. Well. It's not going to kill with Wing Attack, but it is going to sting. And it might have been nice to have Sight, although I guess it gets outrun and dies to Pyroar. But I might have been able to... Ooh, it crits for good measure and it still doesn't kill, and then it dies to Psyshock. That's a rough one. God, so that would have done, like, a lot, like in the 80s or something. Or not 80s, no, then it would do 120. Sorry about that. It would have done like in the 60s, like low 60s. So I'm not sure if that's enough for Xatu to be able to live Pyroar. Well, now it comes down to if this is Scarf Pyroar. Oh, Flame Charge, so that's game. Roses threw us all for a lot of loops. So, unless he misses Fire Blast here, of course. But then it would be Sceptile Wars. Specs against Life Orb. And who knows how that would end. But, whew, very nicely done on Rose's end. This kid came out of nowhere and is now 3-0. So, oh, he Hyper Voices to be safe. And he does die to Focus Blast. So I guess this game isn't over unless one of them crits, unless Cases crits with it. Well, it's over on this turn no matter what, unless they like both miss Focus Blast or something. But I would assume that Rose is going for a 100% accurate option, or like Leaf Storm, which, good enough. And Case, unless they run super effective hidden powers, which I would assume they do because Vileplume is a pretty good check. So if Case wins the tie, HP. I don't think HP Fire would kill though, or Ice, same thing, in this scenario. So he would need to win the tie and the crit, whereas Roses just has to, nope, he's gonna win it, and there's the game. So that was entertaining, extremely entertaining. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did.